Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to Vintage Story. Hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing awesome. So, I am headed down to the south to try to get some more limestone because I am out. And I mean out. So, gotta head down and get that. But while I was going here, I realized that there was something not quite right with my settings. And I started messing around with them and found that I had my VSync turned on. Well, that's great in certain games, but in this particular game, because I have a 60 frame refresh monitor, the game was actually working harder to try to run 60 FPS because it was trying to run at a much higher rate. So I'm not exactly sure what the issue was there, but I turned off VSync and that allowed me to actually increase the graphics settings that I am running. So oddly enough, I had been running on medium, which is rather bad actually, and now I am on very high. Now I did try setting it to the absolute maximum setting, and just sitting there I was getting like 18 frames per second. So yeah, my computer used to be pretty awesome. It's definitely starting to lose some of that edge now. But I have a long trip ahead of me, and I have my iron pickaxe for the first time. So yeah, I am really excited to see what this thing can do for speed on the mining here. And I would kind of like sometime to come back and grab some of these lupins, because we do have some of the red ones in here, and we also have some of the white ones. So I've actually seen this particular group of lupins before, and I would be very happy to get some of those. But yeah, like I said, long trip ahead of me. Hopefully, I will be able to carry back a large quantity of limestone. A what? A Suvite impact rock? Is this a meteor? What are you? Let's place down our bowl. What can we do with these? What on earth is this? It doesn't look like we can do anything with it. What on earth is this? I don't know. I have no idea. Well, I guess I'll put down a chest and I'll waypoint this because I don't know what the heck this stuff is. But whatever. Oh my god, look at that mountain or plateau or whatever it is. Holy cow. And this is a beautiful valley down here too. But gee, many crickets. This would have been a heck of a place to build. Well, with these slightly higher graphics settings, we can see the village coming into view a lot sooner now. So before, I would have had to have been all the way onto the beach to see this. So yes, that is very nice. The render distance has increased by quite a bit. Never could see those hills before, or that area over there where the iron is located. But yeah, we can see all of that now. That is really nice. I'm kind of curious to know what my distance for viewing is now, but now we come up into the area of bees. Oh my god, all of the bees. So many bees. But I did get back, obviously, and I have quite a bit of limestone. So I guess we had a tiny bit of lime in here, but in general, yeah, we were basically out. So I think what I want to do is I'll set down a chest go ahead and drop this stuff into it, and we'll figure out what we're going to be doing today. So one thing that I noticed after getting back to the base was that the amount of food that I had left in the cellar was kind of getting a little on the low side. So I did replant the vegetables in the garden, but I think we need to revamp our grain production area. And like I was saying, I think it was in the last episode, we need to add some water to that so that the stuff can grow a little bit better. Yeah, it's a wolf puppy, and it's just sitting there. But so because of that, I am out gathering up some Cooper's reeds so that we can... Oh my god, there is a lot of skeletons here. But we will be replanting these into the water holes that we add to our grain area. Oh, and excuse me, got burps. But so I have 48 of these. I think that should be a great deal plenty. So we're going to go ahead and pop in here, and as we can see here, yes, the vegetable garden is replanted. I've got 2 rows of turnips, 2 rows of onions, and 1 row of carrots. And so we've got N, P, and K users in here, and we actually could greatly increase the size of our vegetable production. But for just me, I think this is a great deal plenty. But we're going to pop in here, and I guess before we do that, we do need to grab 1 bucket of water. Can I grab a bucket of water, please? Thank you. And water will go 3 blocks from any given point. So if we break out this one, we can go ahead and do that. Now that is going to hydrate up to the gate and out here a little ways. And I'm going to go ahead and break all of this out, and we'll be able to see this slowly as the ground hydrates. But then I'm going to go ahead and plant a reed back into that, and then when we do our harvest of the grain, we can go ahead and harvest some reeds as well, because, well, we're always in need of reeds for skeps. So I need to just kind of plan out what the best positions are going to be. Best positions for the water sources, and I'll place those out. Now this first row is probably going to be just evenly spaced, and then we'll just kind of toy around with it from there, maybe putting some close to the wall, some further away from it. But yeah, it's going to take me a little while to do this, and I'm probably going to go ahead and just till the rest of this area because it only makes sense. So we can see now that yeah, hydration has gone out 3 blocks away from the water source, and so then we can go 1, 2, 3, and then right here will be the next one. So this is going to take a... Ooh, I don't want that down in there. So yeah, this is going to take a little bit of time, and it's going to take a little bit away from our ability to plant, but I think we've got plenty of farmland here to go around. So yeah, I'm going to get this taken care of, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So I have been grinding here for quite some time, and I almost have all of the stuff that we need to make our copper scale armor. So this is a very long, drawn out process, and my god, does this, it just, no. So I did find out something that makes my life a lot easier here, and I actually don't need to add any more ingots now. Yay! But so one thing that I can do that will help out here a lot is to just expand every bit of this. So originally I was doing the targeted expansion, and I realized I had like 12 voxels left over when I would get done. And yeah, we don't even come close to using that many extra voxels by doing this. We actually end up having 4 left at the point where we finish, I believe. Yes. And so I can still screw up a couple of times in the removal of these extra little bits. But also I have found out the way that the hammer takes durability damage. And every time that it swings, it takes 1 point of damage. So I do believe this is actually a slightly more efficient use of the hammer. So yeah, that is very nice. But the other thing is, we're running very low on charcoal. So I do think that I am going to have to take this massive pile of firewood that is beside the forge and the tannery and get that burning, because we are going to need that charcoal, and we're going to need it badly. But also, this takes a lot less time to forge these when I do this method. I did like, I want to say 12 or 13 of them with the directed forging, doing 1 voxel at a time. And oh man, that took forever, because you have to sit there and switch back and forth. But if we come in here now, which I did add a little decoration in here, we now have 24 of these copper metal scales, and this hammer is just about dead. So my hammers, they don't last very long. I had to make a couple more here on the forge, and by the way, it is really easy to screw up when you're putting stuff on the forge, and I ended up making a couple of extra copper prospector's picks, and no, I don't hardly use those things. But we should have what we need now to go ahead and make this copper armor. So we have 24 pieces of leather. Let's go ahead and get into our crafting grid. Now, I may have to look this up real quick because I don't remember. Okay, so on the helmet we need 1 leather on each side and 6 across the top, alright? So 1 and 1, and then that. So there is our copper scale helmet. I'm not going to put any of this on until I am ready. So then on the body armor, we need 3 leather across the bottom, and then 10 copper scales in a U. Alright. So 3 across the bottom, and 10 of them in a U. So there's the body armor. And then finally, we have the leg armor, which is 3 pieces of leather. Alright. So we go here, here, and here. And then we go like that, and there we go. So let's go ahead and drop this leather back off in here, which actually I should have a whole gob of soaked hides in these barrels now, because I did run a bunch of my hides through, but as you can see, still more than I can put in there currently. But let's go ahead and pull up our character, and this gambeson armor, it has served us well, but it is time for it to come back off. And let's go ahead and place on the copper scale armor. Oh yes, very nice indeed. So I wonder how well we can hold up to the drifters now. That's going to be something that's going to be interesting to find out. Now another thing, ooh, wow, that makes an interesting sound. So for now, I think I'm going to drop the gambeson armor in here, and that's kind of going to be our backup armor in case we should happen to need it. But that is an interesting sound when I walk. But yes, I made a few more copper lanterns as well. I made a little bit more of the molybdechakos lanterns. And starting to get this area lit up a little. Now I've been trying to get night to fall so that I could do some more lighting out here, but yeah, every time it seems like I was forging away and then I'd get overwhelmed by drifters and I'd just want to run away. But also I have been working on getting all of this set up. So let's go ahead and break this grass here. I want to always be carrying knives with me now because, well, we'll be having a lot of this, but also we need the dry grass for the animals now too. But the second tier of this is completely planted with spelt, and then I've got the rice up here on the top, and this stuff grows so much faster with the hydrated farmland. It is absolutely insane. But yeah, that is definitely working out for me. So I may have to head down into the iron mine and see what this has done to our ability to withstand the nightmare drifters. I don't know if that's such a great idea, but it's an idea. And I could probably use a little bit more iron. So yeah, I suppose that's probably what I'm gonna do. Looks like I've got a little bit of stuff here that I can drop off somewhere. And I'll meet you guys down in the iron mine. Well, I have to say I can definitely feel that decreased running speed. And that is really something else. Now, it is pretty dark in here because the torches have burned out. But there's still some lit areas. I don't quite understand that. But, yeah, can we... So, now that I want some drifters, I can't find any. I don't... And, yeah, there's definitely some lighting glitches here. Well, I can hear them. Okay, here we go. So let's let one of these corrupt drifters actually hit us. Okay, you guys are... Yeah, you're not doing too much now. Now, the corrupt drifter did still do a little bit more damage, but not a whole heck of a lot. So, yeah, our survivability down here is quite a bit better, but oh my god, did you just die already? Deep drifters never have been too much of a problem. Okay, no. Ah! Yeah, they surrounded me, they jumped me. So yes, still can die. Definitely still can die. But it's not nearly as bad now as it was before. And I'm going to grab this copper sword because I have a feeling we are going to encounter some more of those guys when we get down there. But yeah, feel that I am running, I'm sprinting right now. And I mean, this is like almost how fast I walked before. If I go to walking speed, oh my god, that is slow. So, yes, I mean, it's nice having the extra protection, but the reduced movement kinda stinks. Now, it doesn't appear to really affect swimming speed, which is good. Which, actually, it should very much affect swimming speed, but if we start affecting swimming speed, then we better be getting some boats. So, but yeah, I gotta get back down there and get my stuff, and I'll probably dig up a bunch of iron as long as I'm down there, because it only makes sense to do such. And then I'll come back and work on getting that charcoal made up. And I got a lot of stuff to do with that, because I got to dig a massive hole in order to be able to put that stuff in the ground. So I will get to all of this stuff, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So I have already reported this bug, but I noticed something kind of strange in my inventory here. And that is that Yeah, the number of items that I seem to have actually don't, or the inventory slots don't seem to match up. So we look at linen sacks. It says we're supposed to have 5 slots, but when I remove this, it removes 4. And if I remove the other one, it removes 4 more. So yes, these are not quite working correctly. But I did come over here to the tannery and we have 16 leather. So that should be good to make 2 more leather backpacks. And so we should be able to get our additional inventory slots. There we go. So currently this is the maximum number of inventory slots without mods. And so yes, this is going to help a lot. But also, I know my trader through the teleporter was asking for linen sacks. So I may go and see if he wants those, and I've got a couple more of them here. So yeah, I'm going to go and check and see if he will take those. And by the way, this is the largest charcoal pit that I have made. And so this is an absolutely ridiculous amount of charcoal. But also, the lambs that we had in here grew up into 1 ewe and 1 ram, and I was able to coax another ram in, and I died in the process. But also 2 of these ewes are listing as pregnant. So this one is not, that one is, that one is. So yes, we should have more lambs here pretty soon, which will be very nice. And so I'm going to have to start looking at where these guys are going to get moved to as a permanent location. But I'm going to go through the transporter and see if or teleporter and see if I can trade these linen sacks. Well, hello there, Shift. So do you still want these? Yes, you do. So you want 2 of them. All right. So if I give you 2 of these, there we go. So tabletop. Well, I didn't bring my gears along. I was not really thinking. But unfortunately, you don't have any of the stuff that I really want. I wouldn't mind getting that seed vessel. And you have 5 of those. So I think I'm going to head back and grab the rest of the gears that I have. And I'm going to grab those seed vessels because I could definitely use some pumpkins so that I don't mess it up this time. And yeah, I could use a bit more rice or even more flax still, even though I have a huge amount of flax. So when I gathered up all my gears, I realized I wasn't going to have enough to buy all of these seed vessels. So I looked back at the footage and I saw that our trader wants spelt bread. Or not spelt bread, flax bread. And so flax, we have tons and tons of flax. So by all means, let's go ahead and do this. So he only wants 4. Well, I brought a lot more than 4. So yeah, let's go ahead and trade that, and then we are going to grab these 5 seed vessels. Oh man, this is going to be expensive. Let's hope that we get something good out of here. So we have 2 gears left now. That is not very many. Yeah, and strangely enough, these stack. So let's go ahead and come over here and we'll see what we get out of these. So, well, that looks like onions. Yep, onions. Rye. Pumpkins. Oh, thank you. It was worth it just for that. More rye or spelt? Okay. And finally, more spelt. But we did get those pumpkins back. That was it. It was worth it just for that. So now I need to kind of set up a spot in my garden area for pumpkins. because much the same as all the other items, rabbits will destroy pumpkins. So yeah, we got to be careful. And by the way, this is where I was getting the sandstone from. Big hole in the ground. So yeah, I am going to go and see if I can figure out where I want these pumpkins. And I'll also plant these other... I'm just happy to see that we got a bunch of grain, because yeah, we still need to fill in our grain area. And boom, there we go. Back over on the other side of the teleporter. I'll see you guys in a little bit. So I did a little bit of experimenting in my creative world and found out that pumpkins need a lot of space. So on the wiki it says that they only grow out to be up to 4 blocks from the stem, but I witnessed one in my creative world go all the way to 6 blocks out. And that particular pumpkin also produced 5 pumpkins. Now thankfully we are able to convert the harvested pumpkin fruits, or vegetables, or whatever you want to call them. I guess technically it would be a fruit. But, yeah, the portion that we harvest, we can turn those back into seeds. So that is a very good thing. But this space right here, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with it anyway. And so what I did is I leveled off the upper portion, and I'm going to put a wall around this so that we can have it be only at this lower height, and that, you know, we can have as much room as we possibly can. But I'm going to have to connect the walls around here, because we don't dare have rabbits come into these guys. These are way too precious. Now the other thing is we are going to be using some of our extremely rich farmland for this. And there was a video passed around the Discord here the other day that I was not aware I was mispronouncing this. This is actually pronounced terra preta, not terra preta. So yes, you know, it's pretty easy to mispronounce words that you don't know. But I will be putting the wall around that and planting the pumpkins. And I will say that for the start of what we've got going, I must have just starved right as I was eating. But for the start of the pumpkin growing there, I am going to just convert every single pumpkin that we get into seeds. Now, it will take quite some time. It takes upwards of 6 to 8 days for the pumpkins to mature. Now, the vine will stop growing after 6 days, but it will still produce pumpkins after that time period. But yeah, I've got quite a bit to do here, so better get this done. Also, I've got to make sure that this grass spreads everywhere before I plant anything, because otherwise we're going to have rabbits in here. So yeah, I guess I will get going on this. See you guys in a little bit. And my God, my inventory. Well, here is that massive pile of charcoal now. So there was 150 stacks of firewood in this thing. So I would really like to know how much charcoal we're going to get out of this. So I am going to harvest all of this, and I'll let you guys know. Maybe we can get a little bit of a figure on how much we actually get from charcoal. So I finally got this entire charcoal pit dug out. As you can see, it took, if I hadn't used a copper shovel to start out with, it would have taken every bit of this iron shovel to dig all this out. Now, what I ended up with here was 13 stacks of 64 plus 41 charcoal, which equates to 873 charcoal. Now, the amount of firewood that was in here, there was 480 pieces of firewood. Now, that equates to 1,200 logs. Now, if we actually think about that, Minecraft's default return on charcoal is 1-to-1 logs to charcoal. So honestly, we're not doing bad here. We got basically 3/4 of our logs back as charcoal with no fuel. Now, I would be kind of interested to think about that. So, for every 8 pieces of charcoal that you have to smelt, you would need to use a piece of charcoal. Oh, leave me alone. But, so, for every 64, you only get 56. Yeah, I mean, the math really isn't terribly bad here. For those who were complaining about charcoal not producing enough, no, the charcoal here does really good. If anything, it needs to be toned down a little, because real-life charcoal production would not even come close to that much. So, yeah, that's... Oh my god, these drifters are everywhere! And I can't hardly believe that, because, I mean, there's a lot of lighting around here. But, yeah, so we have our charcoal pit done, and I think I'm going to leave that pit there. And as time goes on, I'm going to go ahead and refill that. But also, I've got the area here for the pumpkins set up, and so I'm going to need to work with that. And like I said, that's going to be a very long process, letting those pumpkins grow. Now, I'm only going to plant them 2 at a time to make sure that I don't use up all of my pumpkin seeds, because I don't want to have to go through that again. But I think that is probably going to be it for this episode. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on, or anything that you would like to see, be sure to leave that down in the comments. Be sure to check out Ashantin. Link is in the description, and I will see you next time. Bye.